Bonjour amigos, welcome, and this is Blitzboy HD. It's been quite a while since I made a cricket related video, so let's get ourselves warmed up with some fresh cricket terminology. Let's talk about player stats, starting with the most basic one, matches. Matches refer to how many games you have played from the start, regardless of whether you finish. The other statistics in cricket can be split into ones for bowlers and ones for batsmen. As a general rule, for the bat, the higher the better, and for the ball, the lower the better, if they have the same name. Let's start with the bowlers. When you bowl during a match, your performance is summarized by this notation, called a bowling analysis. The analysis contains the following. Overs refer to how many overs you have bowled, along with legal deliveries if the analysis comes up before you have completed your over, or if the match finished first. Maidens are overs during which you gave away no runs. Speaking of which, runs are how many runs the batsmen have scored against you, plus how many extras you have given away. The last slot is for your wickets. You get a wicket if you send a batsman packing. More on that soon. Another important stat is economy. Your economy is how many runs you conceded every over. Now what about your career? The earlier mentioned wickets and economy you've built up over your career, along with a couple of other figures. Bowling average is how many runs you concede before picking up a wicket. Bowling strike rate is how many legal deliveries you bowl before you pick up a wicket. The lower these are, the better a bowler you are. There are a couple of extra ones. Hat tricks are how many times you've picked up a hat trick, 3 wickets in a row. 3 and 5 wicket hauls are how many times you picked 3 and 5 wickets in an innings. A 10 wicket haul is when you pick up 10 wickets in a test match. Lastly, let's talk best bowling. This is the best performance you had, in an innings and or in a match. Your best performance is judged by how many wickets you picked up, and then by how little runs you conceded. Now the batsman. Your performance in a match is summarized by 3 figures. Runs, balls, and strike rate. Runs are how many runs you scored in the match. Balls are how many deliveries you faced. Strike rate is how many runs you would score if you faced 100 balls. 2 more useful statistics are 4s and 6s, which is how many 4s and 6s you hit during the innings that you played. Again, let's talk about your career. When you play a match, it is possible for you not to bat at all, and for you to bat twice. This is why another stat is needed. Innings, which is how many times you actually went to bat. Runs are how many runs you've accumulated in total. Batting average is how many runs you would score before losing your wicket. Batting strike rate is how many runs you score per 100 deliveries. 50s or half centuries are how many times you scored between 50 and 99 runs in an innings. Hundreds or centuries are how many times you scored 100 or more. Highest score is the highest number of runs you have ever scored in an innings. These are the main ones. Other stats include not outs, which is how many times you finished an innings without losing your wicket, and boundary percentage, which is how many of your runs came from boundaries per 100 runs. Those are the player stats, but what about team stats? Team stats are recorded from the batting point of view. In a match, the most important stat is runs, which is how many runs the batsmen score, along with extras. Boundaries are also listed, along with the run rate. Run rate is the amount of runs scored every over by the batting team. During a tournament, team stats show how many matches were won, lost or abandoned. Lastly, net run rate. A team's net run rate is how much more or less they score compared to how much they concede. If a team loses all their wickets before the innings is complete, it still counts as though they batted all the way. Then there's Duckworth-Lewis, which I don't even want to discuss. That's it for this video. My next video will focus on how wickets happen.